Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on one thing, single barrels. Best of all, you can try before you buy. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution so you know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and who from the industry may be coming in to visit. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. We're also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers traveling minibars that are no bigger than a small purse or toiletry bag. Best of all, they are fully customizable so you can create the perfect piece that is unique for you. If you own your own business, what a fun and unique way to promote what you do. Check them out online at thebar2go.com. That is the number 2 in the Bar to Go. If you have wholesale questions, call my friend Isabel Clark at 504-481-1297. Finally, we are sponsored by the Neely Family Distillery. NFD is a family-owned business that keeps ringing up awards in the spirits world. Head to Sparta, Kentucky to experience the family history, award-winning spirits, and meet the Neely family. Check them out online at neelyfamilydistillery.com. Now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we discuss old decanters and the potential for lead contamination. My name is McNew. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Darren McCroy, Steinkamp, and Von Nieters.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Hey-o.
Hey-ho! So, yeah, we've got a interesting show today, that's for sure. We're welcoming McNew back. She hasn't podcasted us within months. All these days off she needs and stuff. So.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely my schedule, not yours, Steve.
Yes.
She hasn't been back 30 seconds and zing!
We had to do a special Wednesday night podcast because McNew has too many Friday requests off. So,
of course. So busy.
So actually, it's all been me. Just like I was on Becca, earlier this year. Same thing. Becca didn't ask for any of those days off. It was all me. Just crazy schedule. And I've got for McNew, I've got a crazy schedule coming up. We've got Bourbon Palooza, and then I've got vacation, which that clips 2 Fridays off.
Yeah, no, I was looking at April, and I was like, "Am I on it all?"
I know. That's why I put out a thing on the syndicate just today. Like, hey, if anybody's around tomorrow, about 4, come by the shop and we'll do some shows. So, yeah, I don't have enough shows even with doing these on a Wednesday to get through. But yeah, that's a different story. That's all back off stuff the audience doesn't need to listen to when they're listening to a show that ranks in the top 1% of all podcasts. Yeah. Just got that news this evening and pretty excited about that. So, yeah, that is really, really an honor. You put these things, it never feels like you're doing this for an audience. We don't play to an audience. We just talking with friends, and then you throw it out there, and you're just so far away from the audience. It just feels different. You forget people listen sometimes. So
there's probably people who like know me and think about me, and I've never met them.
Not anything else about the Bourbon Daily, just McNew. That's all they think about.
And Steve too. We're like, we've never met them, but they listen to us every day. It's a weird.
What are you doing, honey? Well, I'm thinking about McNew right now. Is she a friend of yours? No, she doesn't know me, but I know her.
But I think about her every day.
Oh, perfect. All right. Well, McNew, you said there's something you want to talk about. Before we start talking about decanters and lead scares and poisoning and death and all kinds of stuff, what do you got?
Okay. Is there ever, you see somebody in a career and you're like, how the hell did they end up doing that for a living? And I'll give you an example. So we're going to Chicago in June, and I was looking up hotels, and the one I wanted to stay in apparently has a magician residency. And I'm like, how the hell do you become a magician with a residency at a Chicago hotel? Like Vegas would make sense. But Chicago,
you do magic. That's how.
You're at the Palmer. But how do you become a magician? A grown
It's
adult?
magic.
I'm going to do magic. Like, it's just one of those things that seems like so weird to me, where I'd want to talk to them after to be like, how did you get into this? Because it's so off the wall. Yeah. Is there anything you see people doing where you're like, what the hell? How?
Yeah, I think it's someone who has a passion for doing what they do. Obviously, I don't know anything about this person, but obviously they probably have a passion for magic and enjoy it. And then they've carved their own little thing. It just like, Bernie Lubbers, what he's been able to do. There was no brand ambassador who did what he did, and he was able to create his own job. And he's something that he's been doing for, 25 years now or something like that. It's crazy. I think that's cool. I think, if you have a talent, can you figure out what's the path? Because there's no written path on how to do these things.
No,
how do you do it? How do you open a single barrel shop? How do you do that? Well, you just got to figure it out, So I think that kind of crazy stuff happens for passionate people. So
I guess I didn't look at it that way because I was like, this is so random because it had like a lounge and lounge singers, and that made sense to me. But I was like, a magician didn't make sense to me. But
it's probably.
And you found
probably a good gig for this person. Again, Steinkamp, who plays in a band, it's not the same, but it's also kind of the same. You're a performer. And for this person, Steinkamp, don't you feel like it's probably a pretty good gig? It's a regular show time. It's probably just basically money in the bank. You know what you're getting. And for something that's probably not that easy, just being a magician trying to book gigs, you get a regular gig like this, it's probably perfect.
Yeah. As a magician, for sure, right? I mean, how many magician gigs are there?
Right.
In St. Louis, I know Magic Amanda, and Magic Amanda is freaking incredible, but I've seen her like at a pizza place, at a bar, so to have a regular gig like that, a house gig, we call it a house gig in the music world, that'd be amazing.
Right. Yeah, and he has two shows a night on Fridays and Saturdays, and this man probably gets to do whatever he wants all week.
He's working. There's no way he's making enough.
Well,
it is Chicago, but
maybe he's just the retirement type of gig.
I mean,
I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah. There aren't very again. It's in the music world. There aren't many guys in St. Louis that are making a living playing music. It's too tough. And symphony aside.
Yeah. But I'm sure a lot of them are even just part-timers, right? I would
think. Oh no, symphony guys make big bucks.
Do they?
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're the best in the world. And St. Louis has a really good symphony.
So, I hope so. I'd like to think that.
Yeah, St. Louis does. They're one of the better ones. And no, those guys are full-time. They're scheduled. Now they'll teach lessons, like private lessons, and give do different, maybe they'll show up someplace and give a clinic or something. They'll get paid for that. But no, they make plenty of money on their own.
I love the symphony. I love the symphony. But I don't understand all the pageantry of it. I don't understand how they decide like who walks out versus, people that are seated and stuff like that. Most of the members of the symphony are seated, and then usually one or two musicians.
Typically one, that'll be the concert master. That's the first violinist. And the concert master sets the pitch for everybody else. Concert master, to some degree, will control tempos at different times. They're A1. So they come out, right? Everybody claps, applauds. And then the conductor comes out. Everybody claps and applauds. And then if there are any soloists, they come out.
Yeah,
so that's your order.
The other one.
Concertmaster, conductor, and then soloist.
Sometimes they acknowledge people up front too. If maybe they're just different. They had some guy playing some weird instrument in the last one I went to, and he was already there, but they introduced him and talked about the instrument and what it was going to do and stuff like that. Yeah. So it's just fascinating to me.
Yeah, St. Louis Symphony does a great job.
They do. Von Nieters. Any weird jobs or stuff that you just can't even understand?
I don't think there's. I mean, it was kind of like you said. I mean, everybody's got their own talent. It's just a matter of how do you apply it to make it successful. And like this guy created a whole thing of, he's got his home his home base that he knows he's always going to be performing at and all that stuff. So but specific ones that I really can't think of like any specific weird things like that.
I don't know anything.
I got one. So the one my whole life, I really haven't been able to figure this out. And it's not that weird of a job, and I know someone must do it, and so that's probably how this job gets filled. But who growing up is like, I want to be a mailman. I don't want to do anything else. I just want to be a mailman.
My brother-in-law.
Mom works at the post office.
My brother-in-law.
I want to lose packages all the time and put stuff in mailboxes.
Have no accountability.
I want to work. It's exciting.
I want to work the customer service rack where I can basically tell people to fuck off one after another and I don't get in any trouble. And when it's time for my lunch, I don't care if there's 60 people in line. I just put the little sign over and I just walk away.
She kind of does, and it suits her well. So like when she left the factories, like her dream job was to work at our little small town post office, and she does it, and she's so happy, doesn't care about retiring. She just goes in and does her 4 hours, shoves the mail in boxes. She loves it.
Yeah. My brother-in-law loves it.
Today was a little bit of a sad day in Arnold, Missouri. They tore the post office down.
Oh, yeah.
You guys don't have a post.
I don't even understand. I don't know how.
I don't get it either. It's been there since 1970 something, and they lost their lease. How the heck does that happen?
How does the post office lose?
And how's it a surprise that you were like, oh fuck, we don't even have a place. Let's put like a trailer up somewhere.
A trailer in a freaking retail parking lot.
I don't understand. I don't understand how we get here.
But it's being replaced with the very important thing. Another bank. We need already have 58 of them. We need another. I can't believe it. Where do you go drop off your packages and stuff now? Oh,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
aren't there like 30,000 people in Arnold?
There's a big
city. That's bullshit. They don't even have a post office.
So ridiculous.
I don't understand.
Didn't know that was happening.
Yeah, it's gone.
Oh fuck! I drove up there one day. I got packages. I'm driving in. I'm walking up, and I'm like, oh shit, it's closed.
Whose job is that to renew the post office lease? Is that the mayor or is that somebody else?
Somebody dropped the ball.
Yeah, because I get it. Maybe the landlord wanted this bank deal and was kind of behind. I get it, but they should know that this is coming and then start working on. Hey, this is where the new. No, they have no plan. I guess at this point they're scrambling to work on. So I have no idea. I don't know what's happening. I just know they're in a trailer right now. That's it.
Wow.
Yeah, in a trailer in a strip mall.
Yeah,
that seems safe. Like you can just somebody with a
no one's ever broken into a trailer.
Look, we're in Arnold. It's a common sight.
I was just saying, it's the Jefferson County special. What more can you want? There's no more thing that
they should have hit it.
Improvement, by God.
Yeah, they should have hit it in that trailer park on Jefferson Boulevard. People wouldn't even know. They'd be like, I don't know which one to break into. One of these is a post office. Yeah, It's fascinating. What do you guys, before we move on, what do you guys think about magicians? I'm amazed by their talent.
I love magicians.
Like you were talking about your friend Amanda there. Yep. Those type of magicians amaze me even more so than Siegfried Roy's and all the big stars that we know, David Copperfield's and that, because the ones that are just you're standing next to them and they're doing some sort of card trick and I'm not watching what they want me to watch. I think I'm watching for the trick and I still can't get it even though I'm right there.
Yeah.
Magic Amanda is incredible. Check her out on Facebook, Magic Amanda. We ought to bring her into the shop one night. And
Magic Amanda.
I'll reach out to her.
That'd be fun.
It's incredible, and whether it's close-up stuff or different, and she does like a new trick almost every day on Instagram.
Really?
And I'm like, how do you keep coming up with ideas? Yeah, she's incredible.
So she does all sorts of stuff. Like card stuff and everything.
She can do sleight of hand right in front of you, but bigger things too. I mean, she's not like jumping in a barrel of water or anything, but all kinds of stuff.
She saws herself in half.
Yeah, not quite that, but we need to have Magic Amanda night.
Let's have Magic Amanda. We got some open dates in March, so that'd be good. We could use something. I mean, because I'm leaving on vacation and I got the other two home alone. It'll be like that goddamn movie that we run around fucking shit up. I need to have some people there watching these guys. So it'll be good. All right. On that note, it's time to drink. What is everyone drinking? Let's start with Darren. He looks locked and loaded there. What do you got?
I got some KO bare knuckle rye from the ABV Barrel Shop.
Okay. That was solid. That was a solid.
A little slosh, but pretty darn solid.
A little slosh at the end and he wasn't holding it either. So I don't know how that happened to him, but that's a shame, Darren. I've got some Heaven Hill. I went with an old one since we're talking about old decanters. Now I don't have one right here at my feet. I do have my Sputnik, I guess. You know what? Put that aside. I'm pouring out a Sputnik.
Oh,
Sputnik.
Audible.
There we go. Sputnik. It's a screw top, folks. It's back from 57. This is from. They didn't have the cork wouldn't be any good anyway. So Sputnik, my favorite decanter ever.
It is so cool.
Sputnik,
it was
the best one, world's best one. They have one unopened at the Cellar House in Oakville. God damn, I want that thing. If I ever decide I'm going to live a life of crime, one of the first things I'm going to steal is that goddamn decanter.
After the Arnold post office?
Yeah. I'm going to hitch the Arnold post office, and then I'm going to drive up to Cellar House, grab that thing, and then I'm off to, I don't know, wherever I want to go.
You're probably going to get a visit for even saying that. Their joke about the post office.
Yeah, that thing disappears at any time Steve Akeley's door's getting knocked on.
I saw in Seinfeld that the Postmaster General may show up. That's what happened to Kramer when he was trying to rip him off. So that same thing will happen to me. So there you go. All right, next up is McNew. What do you got there, McNew?
I have some Fortune Spool.
Okay. No, not enough. Darren has the lead. We'll go with Von Nieters next.
All right, we're talking decanters. This isn't an old one, but I got the James E. Pepper, batch 13.
Okay, that was solid. Didn't seem like he did that again. He does that thing where it doesn't match up.
Stutter steps a little bit.
Video doesn't match up, but yeah. Oh, there's the dog there. The dog was working the stuff.
Yeah, it was the dog.
It was the dog, clearly. All right, Steinkamp, you're last but not least.
Rye 3 cigar series.
Okay.
Nothing on my end here either.
This is our sound engineer guy right there.
Yeah, I'm telling you, there was nothing came out of it.
Nothing to be heard. So yeah.
No.
All right.
It's a performance issue, not a microphone issue.
Oh my. Oh
True.
my. Cheers. And
Cheers.
Congrats, Darren.
Cheers.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to be talking about old decanters and lead. A lot of people talk about that. A lot of people want to mansplain that to you. We're going to mansplain it back. We'll do that in just a few. Okay, let's talk about the people that make these shows happen. First up is the Stave and Thief Society. Via their in-person class at Moonshine University in Louisville, Kentucky, the Stave and Thief Society is the place where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge an executive bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Speaking of executive bourbon steward certification, the ABV Barrel Shop in St. Louis, Missouri has developed a unique partnership with the Stave and Thief Society to offer a preparatory class to assist you in getting your executive bourbon steward certification. This prep class costs only $25 and is available to take live or online via Zoom. Graduates of our class receive a coupon code good for 15% off your executive bourbon steward certification held in Louisville, Kentucky. This saves you almost $90. Additionally, you can collaborate with fellow attendees to split travel costs when you go to Louisville. If you're interested in signing up for the class, simply head over to abvbarrelshop.com and check out the classes and events page. Last but not least, we are sponsored by Neely Family Distillery. Royce Neely is the 11th generation distiller in one of America's oldest distilling families. A visit to Neely Family Distillery takes you through family history, where you can see all the artifacts and newspaper clippings through the years from this family that started distilling in America after James Neely arrived from Northern Ireland in 1740. Today, Royce Neely and his team are crafting some of the best spirits in America. Their bourbon and absinthe offerings keep winning top honors in the spirits competitions. Recently, their absinthe made history as the first platinum winner in the absinthe category at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Neely Family Distillery is definitely a bucket list destination if you are a bourbon fan. Learn more about their spirit offerings, visiting their facility, and the awards they have collected over at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com.
This is Kathy Cool, and you are listening to the Bourbon Daily.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're talking about old decanters and lead.
Yes, we are. So, a lot of people, there's decanters were so plentiful back in the 60s, 70s, even into the 80s, that there are still plenty that are, full. And there's several reasons for that. Not only the overproduction, but they're also kind of collectible to begin with. I mean, my dad had some, and he bought them as collector's items, not taking the liquid out because, like anything, if it's still in the package or it's still the unbroken seal, it's, better. So a lot of people kept these things around, but now we're, a couple generations later, and sometimes these things get sold and stuff. So a lot end up in private hands. People want to drink them, and you do hear about this issue of some of them have lead. The liquid is leached into the decanter, and there's lead. It's leaded glass, and it's going to poison you. So I don't know. What do you guys think about the Von Nieters came up with the show idea? By the way, all of our shows we're going to be recording tonight were Von Nieters shows. So,
you get some writing credits, Von Nieters.
He gets writing credits. That'll be on his IMDb starting tomorrow. Yep. So yeah.
I'll add these ones to the list.
So we'll let Von Nieters weigh in first. I want to hear your take on this and why you even put this show together. What do you got going on with it?
Okay, so I'll start with why I even thought of this. So my wife does a lot of estate sale shopping, and she knows that what I'm into, and and I like a lot of old cool stuff. And she came across a huge collection. Well, I guess I shouldn't say huge, but a decent collection of decanters, and that was all 8 of the Wild Turkey Series 1 decanters.
Oh, those are good too. That's good whiskey.
There's a bad story about that though.
Okay.
The lady that bought them, as soon as she bought them from the store back when they were new, she just liked turkeys. She opened them up, poured them out, filled them with water.
God.
Yeah.
Screw her.
Yeah, I was not happy about that. And then, but she also had all the minis too, all the mini set. So I have all the minis as well. A couple of those had stuff in them, and it's not good. I guess it was touching the cork because they were probably laying on their sides.
They're laying down. Yeah, a lot of people. Yeah, the way they store them, it'll be laying on the cork, and they're going to be bad automatically.
Unfortunately, all those were a bust, which was unfortunate for me since I'm a big wild turkey guy. But I at least have the cool decanters, which will go up on display. And
you want to hear a quick decanter story before we move on?
Yeah,
of course.
One time I'm on Craigslist, and there's a person selling 250 decanters for $10 a piece. And it's in Oakville. I live in Oakville. This is not a big town. I'm in St. Louis. It's like almost 3 million in the metro area. Happens to be in the town I live in, 250. So I send a message. Are any of these open? Are any of them still sealed? She sends me a message back. She says, I've got good news. My brother-in-law is a state trooper, and they were all full, but he told me I can't sell them legally because they don't have a liquor license. So I emptied all of them. So these are all legal for you to buy now. 250 down the drain. And I said, well, thank you. That went from probably being worth minimum $50 a piece to now being worth maybe $1 a piece. Maybe if you're lucky.
If someone buys the quantity.
Yeah. She was like, and this woman couldn't believe it. She's like, well, it's illegal. I'm like, yeah, I get it. So is driving over the speed limit. Do you ever do that? Sometimes stuff happens. I don't know. So that was my decanter story. But sorry. I've told that one here before. But.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
That is unfortunate. Yeah.
But so I got all these wild turkey ones that were empty, but there was one that was not a wild turkey, and it was an old Jim Beam decanter.
Yep.
And it was I forget which one it was called. It was one from 1979. It's an Australian guy, and it was unopened, and it's a screw top, and it was delicious.
Oh,
yeah. So that got me thinking and looking up stuff and into the lead stuff, and I ended up doing research and finding out it's actually more of the crystal stuff, not really the ceramic as much.
Right.
And I seen online that there's a few different studies they did, testing all this stuff, and most of the old whiskeys that they tested, and I'm not, this is, I don't know how.
You're not speaking to any individual decanter, you're talking in general.
Right.
And as always, don't turn to us for advice on anything.
Exactly.
If you're nervous about it, throw it down the sink.
We're not scientists.
We're not providing you
I'm
any
not
sort of
claiming any,
fucking
yeah.
advice. Yeah.
But yeah, according
We're
to
just
most
talking about our personal experiences.
yes, according to most of the research I just read, that I don't know how legit it is, it looked like most of the stuff was not bad unless it's really old crystal decanters.
He was reading Reddit threads, and that's where he got his information from.
And I almost
There are a bunch of them.
I almost got
No.
to Reddit.
I think that is, it's something that people latch on to.
And that I don't know. You know, this is what I read.
They hear lead, and they immediately, we've all grown up around the lead is bad, and lead paints and all this stuff, and people mention lead in these decanters, and people freak out. But that being said, in reality, it's not really much of a thing at all. I mean, I've got a buddy who decided that this could be a problem, that he drinks a lot of old decanters. He started getting some of them tested because he had a friend who could test them. None of them had any lead in it.
Yeah.
It just really doesn't happen. I got a buddy, Jason Bronner, who was drank straight from, you can't begin to imagine how many decanters. His whole life has been based around drinking decanters. He's mostly fine. I mean, he's a little off.
Yeah.
I mean, just Bronner, he's a little off.
But that's just his personality.
He doesn't have lead
mostly
poisoning.
fine. Yeah, right. Bronner's mostly fine. So, yeah, I don't really think it's a thing, but I do think it's a big time buzzword type of thing.
I've had people come in and ask me before at the shop, like, I just got this decanter. Are the chances it's going to be lead? I'm like, I don't think that's a big enough thing that you need to worry about it. I think that is just something that happens from time to time in very old ones. And also, like, Steve's generation grew up with lead in everything, the pipes.
I'm reading right now, according to the National Institute of Environmental Health Services, half of the United States population has been exposed to harmful lead levels.
Sure.
Right.
Half.
Yeah.
So
It's yeah. Well, one exposure anyway isn't going to kill you. It's repeated. It's not that lead's good. I mean, lead's there. Stay away from it.
Yeah, it's a very dangerous thing for sure.
Very dangerous. Yes.
Yeah, no, I have a lot of beam decanters. Some were full, some weren't. And honestly, the worst thing that happened was the cork disintegrating and having to sift out the cork.
That can be bad.
More annoying thinking about lead, because I feel like the lead's going to be so minimal and like everything poisons you anyway. It's fine. Not worried about it.
Right. So, yeah.
Do you have a theory for like if a cork gets stuck in there, Steve? Because you've opened more of these than probably anyone on this call.
Do I have a theory about it?
A process is a better word.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the process is, and that certainly happens. Sometimes there's no way you can get them out without breaking them, and then some you can't even get out because they're just they're old cork, and you can't even put a wine thing in there. It'll break where. So eventually, you just got to push it in there, and then what you want to get is the finest tea strainer you can, metal tea strainer. Don't use a coffee strainer or anything like that. That's going to take out your fatty lipids and things like that your flavor. But if you use a metal tea strainer, and again, they come with handles, so they're pretty and inexpensive. You're talking about a $5 apparatus. That's what you want to use to get out those fine pieces of cork. I mean, that's how you do it.
So if you were to open up a new cork, will you or a new decanter, will you transfer it into a new bottle if there's a problem with the cork, or just try and kill it fastly?
No. I always take my decanters and open them up probably at least a week before I drink them. So I've got the Bell of Lincoln bottles from I don't know if you've ever seen. I think I got one around here somewhere, but I'll decant it in one of those. I don't see it right now. I was just mess with this. They're real big. They're 1.75 bottles. They're real big. So they're oversized anyway. And I put them in there. It lets them breathe a little bit. And it's better because they tend to be pretty, they just have a very unique taste when they've been bottled up for that long. That a lot of that goes away just decanting it for some time beforehand. So always decant.
I love those Jim Beam Corvette decanters. I can see at some point that's going to be a collection piece for me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me know when you're ready. Let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, you got some of those?
I got some of those, including the pace car.
Nice.
There's one for sale on Facebook in Imperial.
Oh,
the pace car. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Make a move.
Yeah, I'm not ready yet.
Make a move.
I found another stat. This is according to the National Library of Medicine.
Okay.
said that from 1979 to 1998, 200 people died of lead poisoning in the United States.
Yeah.
50 of those were alcohol related.
Okay.
Wow.
I don't even know what that means. Was it alcohol from decanters? Probably not. I don't know.
Wouldn't think so.
I wouldn't think so either. Yeah.
I was thinking it meant alcohol related deaths.
You'd know, right?
Yeah. No, it should be more than that. You're right. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Although globally, like almost 1 million people a year die from lead poisoning. So
sure.
much better in the United States, right?
We've done a lot to eradicate our use of lead. Obviously, that was different many years ago, but as they learned more and more about it, it's pretty much removed as much as possible.
So this is kind of off topic, but it's about lead. So in like the beginning of my memories, I remember all the toys being taken off the shelves for lead poisoning. Was that
no?
I don't. No. I remember though. No, my memories of lead was like if you moved into an older house, you had to sign a paper being like, "Yeah, there used to be some lead-based paint in here. We think we got rid of it, but maybe we didn't. Just sign this paper. If you die, it's not our fault." Like I remember those.
You still have to do that for everything in the state of Missouri.
Just don't eat paint chips.
Yep.
There was not any large-scale recall of just toys in general, and the shelves were empty, as Darren talks about. I mean, there was. I mean, they've had some issues with China and stuff made there with lead, and mostly baby toys, which are the worst because what do the babies do? They put stuff in their mouth, of course, no matter what it is, whatever the toy, whether it's supposed to be a toy that they're chewing on or not, they're going to put it in their mouth. That's how babies are. But so I think that was a problem, and I think China, man. They of course they always put out a sacrificial lamb that I think they probably just kill. They're like, they always blame it on one person. There's a whole factory pumping this shit out, but it's one person that they make the sacrificial lamb. And anytime you see any problems with China, and that's kind of what happened, and then they recalled stuff.
Yeah, I was just trying to know the full story because I wasn't old enough to understand what was going on. Yeah.
It's like when they had the bad baby milk from China, and they blame it on one guy who then hangs himself in the factory. He hung himself in the factory for what he did. It was his fault. Yes, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure he did that. Yeah. So. So I don't know. I don't think lead is much of a problem, but again, make your own judgment call, folks. That's the bottom line. If you're not comfortable doing it, just don't drink them. If you're so nervous that, but you have something that's really cool, you can get it tested. Just find a place that'll test it and get it tested to clear your mind. I think it's probably better to have a clean conscience versus pining over this stuff. So if that's really bothering you, check it out. But I think for the most part, if you had to say, is it good or bad, just in general, I think it's probably not much of an issue. So there you go. All right. Well, we'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Steinkamp, we're going to start with you. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Facebook and Instagram at investment-whiskey.
Von Nieters.
You can find me on Instagram at Von Nieters.
All right. Darren.
You can find me on Instagram at The Bourbon Adventures.
God, Darren's the senior guy here. Jeez.
Yeah, I am.
Oh, man. McNew.
I'm on Instagram at McNew, ABV.
All right. For me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website, that thing's abvnetwork.com. Check it out. Everything that we do is out there. Previous shows, blogs, so much more, abvnetwork.com. Come by and see us. The ABV Barrel Shop, the place where you can try before you buy. We're not serving you up old decanters there. We've got brand new stuff and great clean glass. No worries there. So come by and check us out. Sign up for our email distribution over at abvbarrelshop.com. McNew, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I would like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review. That includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. And if you like what we're doing, we ask that you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/theabvnetwork.
Great job today, gang. Finance will have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Before we let you go, let's talk about one last thing, the ABV Barrel Shop in the St. Louis community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on a couple of things. First of all, single barrels. We are the place where single barrels live. We go to distilleries, taste through the whiskey, select the best barrel, and have it shipped to our store where we present it to you, our customers, by allowing you to try before you buy. We're also known for the classes that we have in our education center in the store, as well as the events we have with industry professionals from the bourbon business. If you are in the St. Louis area, please come by and visit us at 6 Fox Valley Center in Arnold, Missouri. Or at a minimum, at least sign up for our email and text distribution so you know exactly what's going on in our shop over at abvbarrelshop.com. This is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, signing off. We thank you for listening to our programming and truly appreciate your support.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.